Hey there, welcome back to the Health Revival. I'm so glad you're here, joining me for another heartfelt chat on how to make life after 60 vibrant, joyful, and full of meaning. Today, I want to invite you to pull up a cozy chair, maybe grab a cup of coffee, and listen to a story that's close to the heart. It's about something we don't always talk about openly, but it's a natural part of life. Intimate marital relationships in our golden years. You heard that right. In this episode, we're diving into how, at this stage of life, the right kind of connection with your spouse can make you 30 times happier, keep you healthier, and even help you live longer. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? Let's get started with a little story that sets the stage. Picture a quiet morning in a small town, where the sun's just peeking through the trees, casting a warm glow on a cozy porch. That's where I met Jim and Linda, both in their late 60s, sipping their morning tea and laughing like newlyweds. I couldn't help but smile as Jim leaned over to whisper something in Linda's ear, making her giggle like a schoolgirl. Curious, I asked them what their secret was after 45 years of marriage. Linda's eyes twinkled as she said, "Oh honey, it's not about grand gestures anymore. It's about staying close, really close, in every way, even the ones folks don't talk about much." Jim nodded, adding with a grin, "Let's just say we've learned how to keep the spark alive. And it's done wonders for our health and happiness." That conversation stuck with me because it reminded me of something we often overlook. Intimacy doesn't have an expiration date. Society sometimes makes us think that once you hit 60, physical closeness is a thing of the past, something reserved for the young. But let me tell you, that's just not true. Jim and Linda, and countless others like them, are living proof that nurturing your marital relationship in this way can bring joy, vitality, and even a few extra years to your life. So let's talk about why this matters and how to make it work in a way that feels right for you. First, let's clear the air about something important. Intimacy in your 60s, 70s, or beyond isn't just about passion. It's about connection. It's about feeling seen, loved, and valued by the person who's been by your side through thick and thin. Science backs this up too. Studies show that staying physically close with your spouse can lower stress, boost your immune system, and even improve heart health. It's like a natural medicine that comes with a side of happiness. I remember chatting with Dr. Ellen, a gerontologist I met at a conference, who put it beautifully. When couples over 60 maintain a healthy, intimate life, it's like they're telling their bodies and minds to keep dancing to the music of life. Isn't that a lovely way to think about it? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Things change as we age, right? Maybe your knees creak a bit more, or you're not as spry as you were at 30. That's all part of the journey, and it's okay. The key is to embrace those changes and find what works for you and your partner. Take my friend Sarah, for example. She's 72, and when her husband Tom started dropping hints about wanting to reconnect physically after a few years of, well, let's call it a quiet phase, Sarah was hesitant. "I thought we were past all that," she told me, laughing. "Plus, I was worried about my arthritis acting up." But they started talking, really talking, and realized they both wanted to bring back that closeness. They took it slow, focused on what felt good, and Sarah says it's like they've rediscovered each other. "It's not about acrobatics," she said with a wink. "It's about being together in a way that makes us both smile." Sarah's story brings up something we need to talk about: how to approach intimacy in a way that's safe and comfortable. As we get older, our bodies might need a little more TLC. Muscles aren't as strong, joints can be stiff, and energy levels might ebb and flow. That's why it's so important to keep things gentle and relaxed. Think of it like a slow dance rather than a sprint. You don't need to rush or push yourselves too hard. Maybe it's about finding a time of day when you both feel your best, mornings for some, evenings for others. Or maybe it's about creating a cozy atmosphere with soft lighting and your favorite music to set the mood. The point is to make it enjoyable, not stressful. Dr. Ellen shared a great tip. Focus on quality over quantity. Even a few moments of genuine connection can do wonders. Speaking of connection, let's talk about the heart of the matter, communication. I can't stress this enough. Talking openly with your spouse is the foundation of a happy, intimate life at any age, but especially now. After decades together, it's easy to assume you know everything about each other, but feelings, desires, and even physical needs can change over time. I think of my neighbors, Carl and Dia, who've been married for 50 years. Diane once confided in me that she was nervous to tell Carl she wasn't always in the mood anymore. Not because she loved him less, but because menopause had shifted things for her. She worried he'd feel rejected, but when they finally sat down and talked, really talked, they found new ways to stay close that worked for both of them. Carl admitted he'd been hesitant too, unsure if he was doing it right anymore. Their honesty brought them closer than ever. That's the thing about these conversations. They don't have to be heavy or awkward. Start small. Maybe over dinner, you could share a memory of a time when you felt especially connected. Or ask your partner what makes them feel loved these days. Sometimes it's the little things, like a warm hug or holding hands, that pave the way for deeper intimacy. And if something's not feeling right physically, don't be shy about checking in with a doctor. There are so many ways Roswell Medical Center options available today. Things like hormone therapy or simple lifestyle changes that can make a big difference. It's all about feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin. Now let's touch on something else that can keep you in the game. Staying active and eating well. I know, it sounds like the same old advice, but hear me out. Keeping your body moving, whether it's a daily walk, some light yoga, or even dancing in the living room with your spouse, does wonders for your energy and mood. My friend Maria, who's 65, swears by her morning walks with her husband, Joe. We hold hands, talk about our day, and it's like a warm-up for our connection later, she says with a laugh. And when it comes to food, think about adding some nutrient-rich goodies to your plate. Things like nuts, leafy greens, or even a little dark chocolate for a fun boost. These choices help keep your heart strong, your blood flowing, and your stamina up, all of which play a role in intimacy. But let's be real. Sometimes the biggest hurdle isn't physical, it's mental. There's this idea out there that intimacy is just for the young, and it can make folks over 60 feel like they're supposed to retire from that part of life. I say, let's toss that notion out the window. Intimacy is about love, not competition. I remember overhearing a conversation at a community center where a group of seniors was joking about keeping the flame alive. One gentleman, Ed, shared that he and his wife, Ruth, decided to treat their intimate moments like a gift, not a chore. We don't put pressure on ourselves, he said. Some days, it's just cuddling and laughing about old times. Others, we surprise each other. That mindset, seeing intimacy as a joy, not an obligation, changes everything. And here's another thing to consider. Intimacy doesn't always look the same for everyone. For some couples, it's about rediscovering passion in the bedroom. For others, it's about finding new ways to express love. Maybe through touch, shared hobbies, or simply being present with each other. I think of my Aunt Clara, who's 70. After her husband had a health scare, they shifted their focus to what they call heart-to-heart time. It's not always physical, but it's deeply intimate. Sitting together, sharing stories, or even writing little love notes. Clara says it's made them feel closer than ever, and it's kept their marriage strong. Now, I want to share a bit of wisdom from the experts, because they've got some great insights to back up what we're talking about. Dr. Susan, a therapist who specializes in relationships, told me that intimacy in later years is like tending a garden. You've got to nurture it, she said. Water it with kindness, give it sunlight with laughter, and prune away any doubts or fears. She also pointed out that regular intimacy, whatever form it takes, can release feel-good hormones like oxytocin, which help you feel calm and connected. Plus, it's a natural stress reliever, and who couldn't use a little less stress? As we wrap up this story, I want to leave you with a thought that's been on my mind since that morning. With Jim and Linda on their porch, life after 60 is a new chapter, not an ending. It's a time to celebrate the love you've built, to explore what brings you joy, and to keep growing together. Intimate marital moments, handled with care and understanding, can be a beautiful part of that journey. They remind us that we're alive, that we're loved, and that there's still so much to look forward to. So, my friends, here's my challenge for you. Take a moment this week to connect with your spouse in a way that feels meaningful. Maybe it's a long talk over coffee, a slow dance in the kitchen, or just a quiet evening holding hands. Whatever it is, let it be a step toward keeping that spark alive. Because when you nurture your relationship like this, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. Thanks for joining me today on the Health Revival. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone special, and let me know in the comments what keeps your relationship strong. Until next time, keep living, loving, and laughing. See you soon.